Welcome live to Oxford, Mississippi and the Gillum Center. College volleyball coming your way on the SEC Network. Second of a back-to-back as the new-look Rebels try to bounce back against the Aggies of Texas A&M. Texas A&M, a winner last night here in Oxford, 3-1 with Jenny Hazelwood. I'm Paul Sunderland. Thanks again so much for joining us. And Jenny, you were here to call that match, and Ole Miss had to wait longer than any other team in the SEC. Their nerve showed in the first couple of sets. After that, very competitive indeed. What do you expect from them tonight?
I definitely think they'll be prepared to make the adjustments necessary. Great coaching staff. The players did seem to settle in, and I think we'll see a good one here tonight.
Middle blockers for Texas A&M were exceptional. They got good support in terms of serve receive, which they need in order to be productive.
Both middles were almost unstoppable, hitting over 500 with no errors. And as you said, when the passing is good, Camille Connor was feeding the ball through the middles, and they were scoring.
This fall season is very, very short, only 8 matches in total, so no time to waste, if you will. And already a setting change for Ole Miss.
Ole Miss had Lauren Barrs, senior setter, come in off the bench and provide a spark, helped Ole Miss win that third set. She will be the starting floor general tonight, and she will definitely have her Rebels ready to go.
20th meeting all time between Texas A&M, the Aggies, and the Ole Miss Rebels, including 3-1 last night. As we talked about, the match protocol different around the conference based on the size of the building. This one, I really like this facility. It's cozy, it's just right for Ole Miss volleyball. You can see in terms of the maximum number of spectators and the precautions that need to be taken, and all coaches and staff will be socially distant and, of course, wearing masks, and we're getting ready to go. Mentioned the 20th meeting all time. Texas A&M has dominated the series. They lead at 17 to only 2 wins for Ole Miss. Best 3 out of 5 sets, first 4 sets to 25 points. Must win by 2, and we're underway. Lauren Thompson will serve first for the light blue, I can call it light blue clad, Rebels of Ole Miss. Their official colors, cardinal red and navy blue. This is not navy. And that's going to be 4 contacts quickly called against Ole Miss, and we're underway.
Well, that rally started with a great serve by Lauren Thompson to get Texas A&M out of system, but Ole Miss just couldn't really make anything of the easy ball they got back.
We talk about an adjustment period. How big of an adjustment for Texas A&M that was so reliant on All-American Holland Hands last year, their all-time kill leader in the rally scoring era.
It's definitely hard to replace somebody that puts up those kind of numbers, but now Texas A&M is so much more balanced with their offense.
That's going to be a centerline violation called on the hustling libero for Ole Miss, Avery Bugg, the 5'6" junior out of Marysville, North Carolina. Comes from a volleyball family. Her older sister Maddie was an All-American for the Stanford Cardinal. Here is her counterpart, the libero Carly Basham for A&M. Pretty average set in transition from Basham, but to the outside, Treyana Rush, 6'1" sophomore out of Texarkana, wearing number 14 for A&M, and the dark colored jersey is able to put that ball away.
Last night, Ole Miss really able to slow down Treyana Rush. She had just 6 kills, hit 176. So Texas A&M could really use her getting going tonight.
Well, we showed you the outstanding numbers for the middles, Mallory Talbert and Morgan Davis. Well, the outsides have got some serious work to do. They had 24 kills, 18 errors on 79 swings, hit under 100. That's not going to get it done against a quality opponent. When I talked to their fine head coach, Bird Kuhn, in her 3rd season, the reigning SEC Coach of the Year, she said, yep, we got to get a lot more efficient on the perimeter. Taylor Voss, 5'5" junior out of Corpus Christi, defensive specialist, on to serve now for A&M. Quick 4-1 lead for the Aggies. Out of the back row, that ball is missed. We're seeing more back row attacks. That's Samantha Schnitta, 6-foot freshman out of Kansas, who missed that particular attempt.
A little bit of traffic in Schnitta's way, so she looked like she hesitated to jump, and so really not at full height, and she missed long.
Schnitta was just 10 for 31 in last night's match in this building. That, again, was a victory, 3-1 by A&M. Nice dig by Basham in the cross court. and off the top of the block. Ball was called out of bounds. Wow, no touch called. Boy, that ball looked like it changed direction off the spin, but all 4 officials saw it exactly the same way as that ball is hit out of bounds by Morgan Christian.
And no argument from Morgan Christian either. It looks like she actually went a little wide of the blockers, so missed the hands just a little bit.
Good call by the officials. Perfect pass. Transition opportunity. Carvaccio. Nice sprawling dig that time by Basham, but you got to keep the ball on your side of the net. And Peyton Burgash, the 6'2 freshman out of Parker, Colorado, with easy tap down, making it 5-3.
And Burgash, another player that didn't start the match last night, but came in, provided a spark off the bench. She's learning as a freshman, just in the middle of conference play.
Missed time there. You don't see that very often. Camille Connor not able to find one of her middle blockers. Mallory Talbert out of the middle on the misconnection.
And that pass was tight, so a little bit tougher to handle, but Camille Connor, you're right, even in difficult situations usually makes a great set.
Left side, nice block, reaching into the cross court. Burgash once again had the stuff on the overpass, and this time nicely taken away the cross court to tie things up at 5.
And the Texas A&M pin attackers continuing their struggles that started last night, and Ole Miss has really had their number.
Off the edge of the block and down. Nicely done on the slide by Talbert.
If I'm Camille Connor, I'm setting the middles as much as possible too. And obviously A&M would love to get their outsides going and, you know, get them feeling comfortable. But if the middles are scoring, then you feed the middles.
Morgan Christian, 6'1 sophomore transfer out of McKinney, Texas, played her first couple of years at KU. That ball served just over the end line and long. Tied at 6, very early in this best 3 out of 5 set match, but so far, the littles, if you will, the libero and the defensive specialist, Basham and Voss, have been right on target receiving. Tough serve, nicely left that time by Christian.
And that was an issue last night for both teams. They both missed a lot of serves. So something I imagine the coaches talked to their team quite a bit about.
There is first-year head coach Caleb Anworth, and if you followed international volleyball for the last several years, and shame on you if you haven't, an Olympic bronze medalist at the Rio Olympic Games, but also a world champion for the United States in 2014, was the starting libero for Karch Kirai at the World Championships and the Olympic Games. Spent a couple of years working for John Cook at her alma mater, the University of Nebraska, before very early on in her career, only 31 years of age, her first head coaching opportunity. Really good passing again. Christian, nice stab in the backcourt. And that ball rolled into the middle of the floor. Lauren Thompson, wearing number 20 in light blue, out of Springdale, Arkansas, with a nice roll shot.
And the one-arm dig by Anna Baer, setting up that transition kill for Lauren Thompson. Good awareness of what kind of defense Texas A&M is playing when she's swinging out a system, knowing that the middle back of the court is open.
Here is Bug. Nice little mini run once again by Ole Miss that trailed 4-1 to get back on top by 1. Schnitta working inside, and that ball is going to be blocked by Davis. Morgan Davis, 6'4" senior out of Orlando. Younger sister Lauren was one of the outstanding freshmen in the SEC last year, but Morgan Davis has left her best for last. Kind of played in the shadow of her younger sister last year, but has come on very nicely in what is her last season in College Station. Good serve, nicely handled by Bug. That is a really nice play. That first contact, sprawling pass, the key to the side out.
And Avery Bug has really come along in her collegiate career. Caleb Anworth has surely been a positive influence on her and all that she's doing so far in this early season.
Well, as the season goes along, that ball is legal off the ceiling. The ceiling here is above the legal height, so that is in play. Schnitta with the service winner, and Ole Miss on top 10-8.
Schnitta was missing quite a few of those serves, especially early on last night. So good to see her with a little more consistency to start this one.
Christian with a little better pass and leads to a quick kill out of the middle by Davis.
You talked about the Davis sisters. I love Morgan Davis's quote. It says she loves playing with her sister. It's one of her favorite things.
Well, and as you might imagine, going back to both high school and club, they've been together a long, long time. It's the last season that they will play together. Rush slowed for the moment, back to the middle and missed out of bounds, but a touch is detected. A touch called by the first referee. No argument there. Again, the challenge system is in effect. You can challenge a touch off the block. There's the story of the sisters and what they're doing so far. And look, this is not to say Lauren Davis, she'd love to be hitting about 225. 189, not terrible, but she plays on the outside. A lot different responsibility as an attacker than those lofty numbers out of the middle for her older sister, Morgan.
Yeah, definitely getting more of the junk sets, the stuff out of system, the tougher balls to handle. So you expect a higher percentage out of the middles.
Started to mention the challenge system. Ball in or out, ball off a player, either in the back court or a touch at the net. A net violation, 3-meter line, foot fault violation, service line as well, and ball up or down. Christian, and rejected. We talked about the middle blockers offensively for A&M, but talk about the middles so far for Ole Miss.
Definitely having a great night blocking. Good job of getting hands over as early as possible so that if that ball hit her hands, it was going straight down on A&M's side.
Saltemeyer doing a nice job there. Burgash prior to that. Treyana Rush. Good save. Lauren Bars, good reaction. And that's going to be a double content. No, look at the Ole Miss coaching staff. They can't, I can't believe that wasn't called.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty obvious, I think, to some of us. There's a ton of spin. It went out of the screen there, but hey, Lauren Bars said, that's fine. I'll take care of it. I'll just score the point.
It's a good start for Ole Miss. Scores in the opening couple of sets last night, not particularly close. Third set was won by Ole Miss. Fourth set was deuce, 26-24. Good start here for the Rebels. That's a smart shot. Aubrey Saltemeyer, 6'3" junior out of Fredericksburg, Texas, able to put that ball away. Yep, Bird Kuhn, the reigning SEC Coach of the Year, has seen enough right now. Ole Miss with a nice start here in the opening set, leading at 14-10 in the opening set. On this date, Texas A&M had already played 18 matches. Ole Miss had played 19. This is the second for Ole Miss, the fourth for Texas A&M. And when I was speaking to Coach Kuhn earlier today, she talked to me about how the SEC coaches, as a group, they're all on a text thread together. They communicate very, very well. And they push the conference hard to start as late as possible. Everybody was thinking, what's going on with the SEC? The ACC's been playing. The Big 12 has been playing for literally weeks on end. The SEC coaches, they wanted to delay their start to give themselves more time in the gym. The run now is 5-0. Treyana Rush comes out of the timeout, number 14 for A&M, with a kill down the line.
Well, and you mentioned at this point in previous seasons, I mean, we're talking 3-4 tournaments under their belt. So a lot of differences in this COVID season, but everybody trying to do what they feel is best for their program.
Well, it's almost November. We're almost talking about seeding and revealing the top 10 by the selection committee. Instead, in this very challenging and unusual year, Ole Miss is playing just their second match. Last year, speaking of that, Ole Miss was 14-15, 6-12 in conference play. The year before, 14-18, and only had 4 wins in the SEC before they went out and got Caleb Anworth, the new first-year coach. Nice play down the right side. Aubrey Saltemeyer, nice job for number 15 in light blue, doing a good job blocking and attacking here as well.
And Lauren Bars being a taller setter for Ole Miss, if she jumps and even looks like she might attack, she can kind of hold the blockers just a little bit and give some splits to that slide attack.
That ball shanked out of bounds. As good as the passing was early on for A&M, faltering here, Cece Hecht. An outside hitter out of Prosper, Texas, shanking that ball out of bounds.
A really nice flat ball that just drops. That's a tough ball to pass.
Rush. Nice play, tucking the ball cross body. You talked about what a good, tough, flat serve it was with velocity, with all of the international experience of their first-year head coach, Caleb Anworth. Ole Miss is going to serve exceptionally well, but they're going to pass and play defense. If they don't, they're not going to play.
Absolutely, and they're going to not only serve tough, but then in their own practices have to pass their tough servers.
Well, just as I say that, the libero for Ole Miss, Avery Bugg, passes that ball too tight over the top of the net and costs her team a quick point, making it 17-14. Defensive specialist Taylor Voss on to serve. Boy, that was a very easy serve. And Camille Connor. I thought it had taken a little while for Connor to finally take a swing. Probably the most offensive-minded setter in the SEC, if not all of college volleyball.
And a lot of that has to do with the fact that they haven't been passing the ball really anywhere near the net, and she's been setting the middles who have been able to score when the pass is pretty decent. So that time, great decision.
That ball will drift out of bounds. Camille Connor, the 6'1 senior, wearing number 18 for Texas A&M, hitting .311. Took 15 swings last night, which is right on her season average. 15 swings per match so far. Oh, nice play. Off the edge of the block again. Number 12, Talbert. Good wrist away.
Yeah,
using the block.
Mallory Talbert doing a nice job of using hands. That set looked like it could have been a little bit tight, but she just gets a good swing before Carvacho gets fully pressed over.
Sabrina Sestala, defensive specialist, comes on. 15 substitutions allowed in women's college volleyball. Good pass. That is a miss on the outside, and looking a little unsettled, Lauren Davis, the 6'4 sophomore out of Orlando, as I mentioned, with her sister. Made the SEC all-freshman team last year, but struggled last night. Only 6 of 29 with 6 errors, hitting 0.
And in the negative early on in this match.
Here is Anna Bear, and misses that into the top of the tape. Texas A&M got out to the quick 4-1-9-5 lead, but since then, after a 13-5 run, and in there was a 6-0 run for Caleb Anworth and Ole Miss, the Rebels with a 19-17 advantage. Allison Fields, with Coach Kuhn going deep into her bench with all kinds of back row substitutions. Nicely done once again by Burgash.
And another solid pass by Avery Bugg, allowing Lauren Bars all attacking options. So whether it's the middles, if she were to set the pins, that really stresses the opponent's block.
Burgash and Stoltemeyer are 6 of 9 with only 1 error. Those are the middles for Ole Miss. Slide again. Morgan Davis nicely down the line.
Well, and this is having the feel of another battle of the middles. It's similar to what we saw last night, both middles for Texas A&M with a strong outing. Stoltemeyer for Ole Miss was outstanding last night as well. So looks to be what both of them are relying on right now.
Morgan Davis now 3 of 5. Still no errors so far on her visit to Oxford, Mississippi. Back to the middle again. That ball off the defender, off Camille Connor, and Stoltemeyer continues the roll for Ole Miss out of the middle.
And another good pass by Avery Bugg. And in serve pass earlier, when they were working on passing, Coach Banworth got onto him a little bit when they weren't passing very well. So, of course, she's going to stay on them about that.
A very lucky break off the top of the tape. Schnitta with the service ace, making it 21-18. make it 22-18, excuse me. Dug by Bug. Oh, that's a nice swing off the hand of Morgan Davis, and Schnitta is Starkville from here.
I think it's about an hour and a half. You know, it's been a while since I've made that drive. I now live 3 hours away.
You live in Jackson now.
It's about 2:45.
All right, just wanted to
if you drive,
check in on my Mississippi geography.
Geography, yes. If you drive, you know, relatively reasonable speed, it's about.
What's that in Mississippi? 85 or 95?
No, I mean.
Country roads.
Yeah, we're gonna go 75.
There you go.
Ish.
There you go.
You can ish that. Maybe a little higher.
This is a very, very young Ole Miss team. More freshmen on this squad than any other in the SEC. And Kayla Banworth in her freshman season, as you will, in her rookie year as a head coach. Saw Brent Crouch the other day, the head coach for Auburn, also in his first season in the SEC. He came to Auburn from the University of Southern California Trojans. That move raised a lot of eyebrows. 23-18. Coming out of the timeout, Schnitta misses the serve. Let's give you those numbers. make it 4 service errors, but also 4 aces for Schnitta and Ole Miss.
And that's,
when you were coaching, what kind of ratio could you live with?
It just depends. If what Ole Miss is doing right now, I would be okay with that. Some coaches say 1-to-1 ratio, but if we're missing a lot and not getting the other team out of system and going on point scoring runs, I was not okay with that.
Rush again. Thompson going high hands. Nice, good high flat shot by number 20 in blue.
Ole Miss looking very comfortable, and just like they know they can compete, they know they can win. And I remember on our call, Coach Banworth said, we think we can compete, but we just don't know. We haven't played yet. And you can tell now that her team knows.
Well, you were here last night as we get to the first of 5 set points. How different were they, meaning Ole Miss as a team, in the third and fourth as opposed to the first and second?
There were definitely the nerves early on, a lot of unforced errors, missed serves, just miscommunications. You could just tell it was the first match of the season.
They'd waited a long time.
Yep.
Longer than any other SEC team. Not by much, but they had, just by a couple of days. Here is Basham, set point again. Camille Connor should not be making that first contact. That ball's in. That is a really good deep shot. Talk about why Connor shouldn't make that first contact.
You don't ever want your setter playing that first ball coming over the net, especially a free ball that Trayana Rush was right there. She could have easily played it and then transitioned to hit. But
medal, Olympic bronze medal. And at 31, already a head coach. That is taking a fast track as Basham will go back to serve. Third set point for Ole Miss. Carvaccio on the outside, but it's the middles for Ole Miss that have been most effective. Got to pass the ball first. Carvaccio going to get a look, not through the block and down yet. Christian, not a good delivery to the outside, dug by Bug. That's, wow, that looked like the middle blocker, Soltemeyer, was over on that play, no call. And tip to the floor. Lauren Bars doing her best Camille Connor impersonation, tipping that ball on the second contact. And it'll be the opening set going to Ole Miss 25-21.
Ole Miss seemed very, very steady throughout, just stuck with it on the last rally that was a little bit crazy, but Lauren Bars said, I'll put this one away, we're taking this first set.
How important learning was with our USA program, but wow, 4 years ago, you're helping us win a bronze medal in the Rio Olympics, then assistant coaching, but taking it to a whole new level, starting a family, head coaching, you're just gonna be churning the learning. Good luck and go crush it.
USA head coach, Kayla Banworth's head coach at the World Championships and the Olympic Games, 3-time Olympic gold medalist, none other than Karja Kirai, texted me that message today, wanted to make sure that I showed it to Kayla before when we first got to the building. And that is Kayla Banworth at the bottom of the dog pile right there in the Libero's white jersey. That was in Milan, Italy in October of 2014 as the United States beat China 3-1 to win their first ever global gold medal. And Kayla Banworth was right in the middle of it all as the starting libero.
She had a fantastic playing career. She's gone on to have a fantastic coaching career, and I imagine we're going to see some great things out of this Ole Miss program.
Well, and again, as she talked about very frankly, ahead of schedule, 31 years of age. It's 2020, and in 2016, the summer of, she was playing in Rio. So on the fast track, people recognizing coming out of the Nebraska program, playing under Coach Kirai, all of that international experience, but also it's a different game collegiately and internationally with all the substitutions and things like that, and the experience under one of the best in the business, John Cook at Nebraska, as his coaching tree continues to grow. Yeah, she's a wonderful addition to the SEC volleyball coaching family. Texas A&M, we'll talk about the adjustments they need to make. Another perfect pass and tip to the floor again. 2 plays, 2 kills by Lauren Bars. Your thoughts about A&M coming back from losing the opening set 25-21?
A&M's going to need to serve a little bit tougher because Ole Miss has been in system, the ball somewhere along the net where Lauren Bars can run the offense or go over on 2 when she's front row. And if they don't get Ole Miss out of system more, it's going to be a long night.
Here is Thompson, who had a pretty good opening set. Not that many opportunities. She was 2 for 2 with no errors. Joust coming at the net, and one again out of the middle by Saltemeyer.
And the Ole Miss Rebels are really controlling the net on those 50-50 balls. Anytime it's been kind of up in the air who can win that joust, Ole Miss has been winning it.
Some numbers from the opening set. Ole Miss hit an efficiency of 276, held Texas A&M to just 188. Both teams did miss a bushel full of serves, however. That ball well left by Bug.
Texas A&M trying to get a touch call, but I don't believe there was one. It was hit pretty flat.
Quick 3-0 lead in the second set. Ole Miss already up 1-0. Davis has been pretty quiet, number 7 out on the left, and trying to get her started. When you were coaching at Mississippi State, and you had an outside hitter that just couldn't put the ball away. Okay, she's already been on the sideline, but how do you get her going?
We definitely have to get her to just refocus on her skill, on what she's trying to do, her technique, swing high, and she has got to let mistakes go. Any attacker that's made some mistakes has got to be able to just let it go. Short-term memory, you've got to just, short-term memory loss, and move on and do what you know you can do.
Cavacho with a nice response down the line, the 6'3" freshman out of Gallatin, Tennessee. Saltemeyer will go back to serve. 6 for 10 with 1 error, hitting .500. That ball served just out of bounds. You know, I know the World Series is going on, but these statistics we're talking about, these are not batting averages. These are efficiency averages. So in volleyball, it's kills minus errors divided by attempts, giving you that efficiency percentage. Yeah, Lauren Davis, who we were talking about, 7 for Texas A&M, all SEC last year, hitting only 189 so far on the year. Here is Connor. Tight pass. Oh, that ball just missed out of bounds on the reverse tip.
And not a bad decision by Bars. Her other second contacts over have gone to the middle of the court, so that time trying to sneak it behind her, but just pushed it too much.
Schneider out of the back row. Good dig by A&M. Davis is roofed. Bars and Bergach on the outside.
Well, Ole Miss is putting on a blocking clinic, especially against the pin attackers. They're really making it difficult for them to get kills. If you swing low seam, you're going to get stuff back.
low seam has never been a safe place. Not a good choice for all you young hitters out there, no matter what you might think. Bars goes back to serve. So far, the change at the setting position working out pretty nicely for Ole Miss. Good pass. And that ball off the top of the tape, and for Davis, finds the floor.
And I'm sure Lauren Davis is happy even for a lucky break there. Just do what she can to kind of get back in this game offensively.
Davis will go to the sideline, so they're going big versus little in the backcourt. Davis not playing 6 rotations. Sistala coming on. 5-4, Ole Miss leading. Schnida off the top and off of Sistala and out of bounds. I really like this facility. I think for where Ole Miss is right now, I don't know what the capacity is, but 15, 1,800, it's very it's good. And when they start winning some matches, it's going to get loud.
And when they don't have the limitations on numbers, it gets very loud in here, and the fans really get into it.
And Bear had a couple of nice defensive plays in the opening set on to serve and misses that. Out of bounds. Service errors now. That's 7 for Ole Miss. They do have 4 aces. Texas A&M 4 service errors, no aces. But it's really about consistent service pressure, and you know it when you see it. Here's Basham. Thompson able to slug that ball through the block and down.
A solid double block in front of Lauren Thompson, and she makes sure she swings high. Get at the weaker areas of the block, high in the fingers, and she's able to get that tool.
It's an area where A&M really needs to pick it up. They only have 1 scoring block so far. Good dig, right on target to the 3-meter line. Boy, both teams scrambling. Long rally. Sultemeyer is dug out of the middle. Free ball coming to Ole Miss. Rush on the roll shot.
How about that rally? Both teams scrambling, playing some good defense. Nice coverage by Ole Miss when their hitters were getting blocked, but Triana Rush going off speed, short to the middle. Really great placement on that ball.
That was well done, really, by both teams. Early on, a little momentum rally. Maybe that'll get Rush and the rest of the Aggies going a little bit. The outside attackers really struggled last night, as we detailed before first serve. Rush among them, Davis the other, along with Innes. We're seeing Cameron Innes a little bit, another 6-foot transfer from originally from San Antonio, but I mentioned another in that she's a transfer from Kansas. Nice play by Schnida.
And Schnitta's undersized as a pin attacker at just 6 foot, but coach said she can really elevate and really get on a ball fast.
One of the 7 freshmen on this new look Ole Miss team. Innes, roll shot again.
If the Pins are having a hard time scoring with some full swings, then going off speed, maybe catch Ole Miss really digging in and not able to run some of those balls down. That can help just get things going a little bit more in their favor.
Thompson pulling the ball down the line, registers another kill.
And Ole Miss continuing to pass fairly well. It's not a perfect pass, but still where Lauren Bars could have set either of her front row attackers and could have set the back row. So, those kind of passes, even a medium pass, Lauren Bars can run the offense.
Thompson now with 4 kills on 6 swings, no errors. That's way too easy a serve. Not sure about that shot selection. Connor may be a little impatient. Davis, 1-on-1. Nice dig by Bug. And on the slide, Talbert able to put an end to that rally.
Well, right away in that rally, you're seeing the defensive influence of Kayla Banworth. Just some outstanding plays being made. And, you know, they didn't win the rally ultimately, but those touches and those plays are what is going to keep them in some of these and win these big rallies.
When I spoke with Coach Banworth at their serve and pass earlier today, she told us about the change she was going to make at the setting position, and she said, look, I think Bars came in and played better defense. I said, what about her location, her tempo, the way she works with her setter? So no, I liked her defense.
Spoken like a true Libro.
Yeah, Schneider misses that ball out of bounds, tied at 9. Back-to-back, Texas A&M won last night in this building 3-1, got off to a quick 2-0 start, and then after that it was very close. Ole Miss, speaking of starts, got out to a good one in the rematch, won the opening set 25-21, and out-hit Texas A&M by almost 100 points. Schneider again misses that.
Going back-to-back to her back row attacker there when she's got front row attackers, and Lauren Bars can set from 10 feet off the net. She can run her front row attackers, so maybe look to her to set one of her front row players here.
Allison Fields, 5'7" junior out of San Antonio, on to serve. Nice dig by Fields. Not this time on the roll shot. Carvaccio was there. Davis again. That ball deflected away from Bug by Soltemeyer. And a timeout is going to be called by Ole Miss. So Texas A&M making some adjustments, finding some rhythm and timing offensively. And they will force a timeout to be called by Ole Miss.
And Lauren Davis getting hot here in this set. Exactly what Texas A&M needed from their outsides.
We'll step aside. Ole Miss up 1-0, but trailing here in the second, 11-9. For the automatic qualifier, and also the at-larges.
Yep.
Only a 48-team bracket this year as opposed to 64.
That definitely puts a premium on every match you play.
Davis, tough swing on the outside, gets that ball to the floor. The ACC started early. Some of their teams, I have Pittsburgh and Louisville coming up on Sunday. Their season's over, they're finished, and then they take a break until after the first of the year, and then competition can begin, I think sometime late January, early February. The NCAA tournament scheduled for the early weeks in April, and then the championship the 23rd and 25th of April.
And it's definitely going to be interesting to see spring volleyball going on alongside all the other sports that play in the spring.
I'm going to be doing basketball on one night and volleyball on the next, and around it'll go. But look, it's great to have sports back.
Absolutely.
I live in Southern California. The Pac-12 is not playing as yet. The Big Ten is just starting, I think, this weekend. So football, yes, not volleyball yet. Camille Connor goes back to serve with Texas A&M leading 13-10. Differences from A&M, or since Ole Miss is down, difference that you see on their side of the net?
Ole Miss has missed more serves without getting the point scoring runs and the aces that they were getting in the first set.
A&M went on a 5-0 run before Ole Miss was able to stop that. Carvaccio, good soft block touch. Transition out of the middle, tap to the floor by Davis.
And the excitement
the
from
two sisters.
the sisters is great.
I think they've done that about 4,000 times. If anybody's got the fist bump down, they do.
And Morgan Davis, obviously that set was a little bit tight, so just doing everything she could to get it over the net and scores.
7-1 run now by the Aggies. Make that an 8-1 run on the ace.
And the passing was so solid in the first set for Ole Miss, really falling apart a little bit here in this second set. So A&M, I think, has picked up their serving game as well.
Well, they stopped serving Bug. Don't serve the woman in the off-color jersey. She's out there for defense and being Triana Rush got injured. Triana Rush, I did not see what happened. I was following the play onto Ole Miss's side, but immediately Rush went down to the floor.
Coming down off of the block, I'm not sure if she landed on her own teammate or an Ole Miss player.
Not to speculate, but seems to be walking fairly comfortably. It's one of the most common injuries in volleyball. The owner of 4 ankle surgeries. How many people did I land on? See, I can't watch. I'm not looking at the monitor. I can't watch.
I got you. And it was landing on the Ole Miss player. And both of them, she wasn't, Carvacho was not, Carvacho, excuse me, was not all the way under. She was on the center line, but.
Well, it's a neutral zone.
It is.
I mean,
yep.
You have to be completely over the center line for it to be a violation. So there is a lot of contact under the net. And out of respect, players are usually very, very careful with one another. So we'll replay the point. A&M leading 15-10. Oh, that ball was going out of bounds. Schnitta's out of the serve-receive pattern and still had to pass that ball. And to complicate matters, that ball hit out of bounds out of the middle by Bergach.
And Schnitta was standing on the back line, so passing that ball up around her stomach area, that ball was well out.
Many people in the same area at the same time, given what's going on with COVID right now. So right now, Texas A&M at 3-0. They opened their weekend with a 3-0 victory over LSU, followed that up with a win in 5 sets. Nice save that time by Bars, but Bug could not keep that ball in play.
And Avery Bug not very happy with herself as soon as she made that misplay on the ball, but her teammate Lauren Bars went up to her, hey, you're okay, and just giving her that positive reinforcement. Love seeing that out of your leader.
They have really gone away from Bug as far as being a serving target into really good effect. Nice sprawling attempt by Basham that time, the libero flying in, but couldn't keep that ball up. And speaking of flying liberos, remember Camila Gomez from last year for Texas A&M? Only 1 year for the Aggies, and it was a spectacular year. And told by Coach Kuhn that she's now playing for one of the top teams in Brazil.
She was one of my favorite liberos to watch in the game last year, just all over the court. She got it done.
Bug with a nice dig hanging in, but you have to keep that ball on your side of the net. You're better off digging that ball 20 feet off the net than 1 foot over.
And just angling her platform up a little bit more. It's coming too hard to do anything else. So if your platform's down, angled a little bit lower, it's going to go over.
Schnitta misses that ball out of bounds. I think the biggest adjustment is who Texas A&M is serving. They started on Bug, and she was super solid, and they're not going anywhere near her anymore as Sabrina Sestala continues to serve. Big lead now for A&M. Rush twisted her ankle moments ago, seems to look just fine. She comes through with a kill.
Well, after a little bit of a rough night last night statistically for Treyana Rush, that's her 6th kill, no errors, hitting .462.
That's a nice bounce back. I have her numbers right here. I think she would rather I not give them. 12 for 33 with 9 errors for Treyana Rush last night. Not good enough for a player of her caliber. Sestala will continue to serve. 10-point advantage now for Texas A&M. Won last night, 3-1. Very easy serve. And Bear, who just came off the bench, been playing some back row, came in that time for Carvacho and registered a nice and much needed kill down the line.
And we saw that some in the match last night, and I asked the Ole Miss coaches why she would come in that rotation 1 when Carvacho was passing out of right back, and they said, well, Bear just passes a little bit better out of right back, a little more consistent, and she's more comfortable swinging over there.
Nice play on the spread to Morgan Davis, registers another kill for Texas A&M. Talbert comes back on. Carly Basham, the 5'8" sophomore out of Louisville, Kentucky, who has produced more college-level liberos than any other city on the planet.
I would love to know the number of the elite liberos coming out of Louisville.
And mostly out of Assumption High School.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. Schnitta with a kill off the right side. 22-13. It is a 99.9% chance that Texas A&M going to win this set. But Ole Miss can get some momentum. There's time. They can sort things out. They can get a little business going towards the 3rd set. Ennis. Nice touch by Bug, but the connection not there offensively out of the middle. That ball missed out of bounds. Ole Miss looking for a touch, but none called as Sultemeyer who both she and Burgach got off to a really good start. They have slowed down significantly here in the second set. Here's Voss. Diaz, defensive specialist. Schnittä into the antenna and out of bounds.
And Schnittä is a lefty, and that ball coming from her right. So kind of a tough swing to make, especially if that ball wasn't pushed in the court a little bit more for her to make that swing.
The passing has really fallen apart for Ole Miss, and it's evident in every phase of the game. Good pass there, and the result. You want to stay in a match against a quality opponent for a long time, you got to make good first contact.
And I think people probably get tired of hearing coaches say we have to serve and pass, but you have to serve and pass to win.
It's like people get sick of tired of blocking and tackling in football. I mean, it's the same thing. It's the same basics. Talbert into the cross court, and the set point is converted by Texas A&M, and we're tied at a set apiece.
Well, Texas A&M responded nicely in that set, hit 385, just 2 attacking errors after struggling in the first set. And Ole Miss, their number dropped significantly on the offense.
So we'll step aside. SEC college volleyball coming your way from Oxford, Mississippi. Ole Miss and Texas A&M tied at 1 set apiece.
Texas A&M servers, they were serving tough, not missing like they did in the first set, and really putting that pressure on.
Take a look at the match summary and what has been done. Triana Rush, who got dinged a little bit but seemed no worse for wear, having a very nice match, and Texas A&M certainly needed that on the outside. There's Camille Connor. Ole Miss was ready for it. Nice set to the outside. Carvacho back on the floor after being replaced by Baer towards the end of the opening set. Good hustle by Ole Miss, but that ball's got to come up.
Yeah, if your libero Avery Bugg is right there, then Lauren Bars can just let her take that ball so that she's available to take the second ball.
Mallory Talbert, 6'3" junior out of Montgomery, Texas, will go back to serve and serves up the winner. In the serving story, not only who Texas A&M was serving, but their serving efficiency was much, much better in the second set.
And serving a little bit tougher. There were a number of serves in that first set that just seemed easy, really lobby and not with a lot of pace.
Carvacho again, and gets that ball away from the middle blocker, number 12, Talbert, playing in the left back.
Carvacho leads all Ole Miss players in attempts with 16, but just 2 kills.
I was about to ask, 16 is too many for her. It's too many. Some of it's out of necessity, but if you're going to set somebody 16 balls, they better be, their kill percentage, which is a straight percentage as opposed to efficiency, should be over 50%.
Absolutely. Well, the kill percentages for the middles for Texas A&M certainly at a very high rate.
Morgan Davis, 7 of 9, no errors, hitting .778. Mallory Talbert, 6 of 10. So they're 13 of 19, exactly where they were last night, maybe even a little bit better if you can imagine. Rush is dug. Rush again. And that's going to be a double contact. It's a good call.
Yeah, definitely a double contact. That was a great defensive play, but a miscue on the block for Ole Miss. Triana Rush basically had no block in front of her. Both the blockers for Ole Miss, Carvacho and Burgach, thought the middle was going to get set.
Both teams working hard at the defensive end. Texas A&M 28 digs, 29 I should say, Ole Miss with 28. Now the question for Ole Miss, where do you go for offense when you really need it consistently? Be it inside out for Coach Banworth, Kayla Banworth in her first year.
They've had success out of the middle, so if they can control the first contact, then they can feed the middles more.
Perfect pass by Innes. And Carvacho misses that ball out of bounds.
And Ole Miss continuing to be frustrated at the lack of doubles called. Only the one called on Ole Miss so far.
Well, the second double was a violation, no question about it. And there was one that was as bad, if not worse, earlier on that the officials let him go. So, you know. Caleb Anworth using that, and rightfully so, as an opportunity to remind the official, how about let's call them all. Nice shot by Rush. Trayana Rush using all the court.
Trayana Rush has hit with a lot of range in this match. She's gone deep, she's gone wide to the cross court, she's hit line, she's hit seam, she's gone off speed. It's tough to defend an attacker that has that many shots.
Rush again, no, out of the middle, and killed once again on the crossbody by Morgan Davis. Can. Once again, welcoming back. We're trying to clear up some audio issues, as you could plainly tell, and apologize for those difficulties. Texas A&M taking advantage of every possible miscue on the part of Ole Miss. Won the second set easily, 25-14, and have come back to take the 9-3 advantage here in the third set, tied at a set apiece. I'm Paul Sunderland, back with Jenny Hazelwood. And like I said, we are back. Schneider, nice rip. Well, it is 2020, isn't it, Jenny Hazelwood? I'm Paul Sunderland. Thanks for your patience, everybody. Texas A&M on top now 13-5 in the second set. We've had some audio issues. Everybody trying as hard as they possibly can to get it right. I'll try not to kick out that cable again. It's usually my fault.
Well, the coaches, their message to their players is just, we're going to have adversity thrown our way, and we just have to know how to deal with it. Well, it's not any different for us.
That ball missed out of bounds, and as good as Ole Miss was in the opening set, winning at 25-21. First of all, it was their passing that broke down. Then they got it. Talk about Texas A&M really turning things around. They have outscored Ole Miss 32-9. That's a blowout. So you get on Ole Miss's side, Jenny. You know, they got to keep playing.
Yeah, right now just really feeling the pressure, and Texas A&M is applying that pressure. Ole Miss has got to find a way to relax, play 1 point at a time.
And go back to how competitive they were in the third and fourth sets yesterday, and they won the opening set by outpassing and outworking Texas A&M. Soltemeier, nice play going behind the setter. Soltemeier wearing number 15, the 6'3" junior from Texas.
But you mentioned the passing, and that was a good pass. So that allowed Lauren Bars to set Soltemeier. That's going to be huge.
Look at those numbers. Wow. Going in the right direction for A&M and the wrong direction for Ole Miss. Not a good first contact. Ole Miss needs better swings out of transition, and Ennis misses that out of the backcourt.
And a lucky break for Ole Miss. Amber Bushell had a free ball, passed it to the 3-meter line. Not exactly what any coach would be okay with, but getting a little lucky, got the attacking error from A&M.
Lauren Thompson will continue to serve like the rest of her teammates on Ole Miss. Got off to a very good start in the opening set. That's a good set in transition, but still Carvacho can't put the ball away. Davis again. Bishel with a nice stab in the right back. Oh, good off speed, really well disguised. Lauren Davis with a tip over the top of the block.
Yeah, earlier in that rally, Carvacho attempted to go off speed. Showed it so early that Texas A&M read it easily. Well, Lauren Davis disguised it, waited till the very last minute, and tipped it. Perfect placement.
Carvacho just 2 kills on 21 swings, heads to the sideline, replaced by Anna Baer wearing number 28. Baer had a very solid freshman season, 2.6 kills per set, and certainly Caleb Anworth and Ole Miss, they need points either in serve receive or in transition, and most of transition comes from your outside hitters.
And the outsides being able to swing aggressively. Carvacho was really didn't look comfortable with swinging hard on out of system balls.
Maggie Miller on to serve for the first time, wearing number 8 in light blue. 5'5" sophomore out of Houston, Texas. Tight pass. And that ball well left. Nice court awareness by Miller that time. Number 8 in light blue. She'll give way. One of the middle blockers coming back on. That is Soltemeier. And Bug comes back on the libero. Baer, good stab in the cross court by Basham. Ball set too tight. That's a really smart shot. Paintbrush into the block and out of bounds, and want to clean something up. Camille Connor tipped a ball that was passed tight out of bounds, but there was a net violation. A very subtle call by the official. Very subtle.
But this That is an elite level play.
Yeah, that was good play.
Essentially a trap set where the block is huge in front of you. She swipes it off their hand.
That serve is way too easy. Good dig by Thompson. Bear again. Aggressive swing off the edge of Treyana Russian down. She's given Ole Miss a little life here.
It's exactly what Ole Miss needed for her to come in off the bench. 2 kills on 3 attempts.
And some heat, some aggressiveness.
And bringing some fire and excitement to the court.
A&M is really a good defensive team. Service winner by Lauren Bars. Texas A&M, direction of Bird Kuhn, makes full use of their 15 substitutions. They're putting all years the head coach at Texas A&M after coming over from a long stint as an assistant coach for Ray Bouchard at KU. Was there from 2011 to 2017. Once again, Anna Bear.
Anna Bear with the perfect pass. Anna Bear with the kill off the hands of the block. She's really come in and tried to bring some momentum back to the side of Ole Miss.
She's going to be on the floor for a while. She's scoring points. Kind of the idea. Tight pass. Oh, good heat out of the middle. Morgan Davis turning that ball back to area 1.
And Coach Kuhn said about Morgan Davis, she wants it more than anything. She's worked so hard to get to the point that she's at right now, and she is having a phenomenal senior season.
Did not play a lot last year. Actually was kind of, at least on the court, in the shadow of her younger sister Lauren, who made the All-SEC freshman team. That ball dug by Connor, but just out of bounds. Burgach, number 4, goes to the sideline with a nice kill. Burgach now is 5 of 9 with only 1 error, hitting over 440. Rush tucks that ball inside that time of Saltemeyer.
And Treyana Rush continuing to make smart swings, not really in rhythm to get a good aggressive swing that time, so hitting off speed to that sharp cross. This great shot.
Saltemeyer's got to drop that inside hand. Boy, that was awfully low to the top of the tape, but Rush is on a little bit of a roll. 9 of 19, no errors, super numbers for an opposite. Six service, make it 7 service errors now for A&M, 11 for Ole Miss. Here's Schnitta. Dig by Bear in the backcourt. Schnitta, both teams exchanging some heaters. Off the top of the block, Ole Miss looking for a touch, and we're going to have another challenge.
And right away, Kayla Banworth grabs the green challenge card.
But unlike internationally, if your challenge is upheld, you don't lose the challenge. In college volleyball, at least as the rule is currently structured, once you use it, either correct or incorrect, it's done. So looking for a touch here. There was Saltemeyer in transition, looking to hit the ball high off the hands of the Texas A&M block. Ball was called out. After a quick review, they have said that there was indeed a touch. So the point will come off the board from Texas A&M and go to the side of Ole Miss, making it 2016.
That review didn't take very long. Really great job by our camera crew and replay officials.
Ole Miss is right back in this. But one piece of advice for Schnitta, if you're going to serve the jumper, fine, but don't serve it to the opposing libero. You got to be able to find a sideline. Better.
Absolutely.
We've seen a couple of challenges, and we've gone through the list, but let's confirm it for you. Yep, ball in or out, contacting a player either at the net, which we just saw, or in the backcourt, and the foot faults on the service line and the 3-meter line, and the illegal attack. Schnitty again. Better serve going after the wings of the court. Ennis misses it out of bounds.
Well, I hate to jinx it, but Schnitty is doing a fantastic job of just what you said, keeping the ball away from the libero, serving the sidelines, going to force Bird Coon into calling another timeout.
You know, velocity is nice, and Schnitty's got some of that, but you have to have both. I mentioned the World Series. If you're going to be a successful pitcher, you have to have velocity and location.
And that's one of the things that Coach Banworth said that she...
A little bit off. I say yes. Keep this serve in. Keep the pressure on A&M.
Or if you're going to miss long, not in the net.
That's the worst miss. You say, wait a minute, they're both misses. No, if you miss long, A&M might play that ball. The worst miss is into the net. Here's Ennis. On the slide, Tolbert. Ball dug right on top of the net, and the first contact again by Connor. Wow, somehow Lauren Davis was able to get that ball off the block and down against Ole Miss. Not pretty.
Well, a great defensive play by Ole Miss, but as you mentioned, setter Camille Connor playing that first ball again, so getting fortunate to even win that rally.
Is Brent Crouch coming over from the University of Southern California. I'm only emphasizing, I don't want to say just USC. In this part of the country, that could be South Carolina.
Absolutely.
That ball served just out of bounds, but to get a coach out of USC, a legendary program, multiple NCAA championships, have been to virtually every NCAA tournament. To get a coach like that into the SEC, it just shows you that the conference has really emphasized this sport. Thompson, Ole Miss trailing by 3. Tolbert. Now that ball's dug and can legally be kept alive. You can go past what used to be the invisible line, past the official, and chase that ball down. But Bear just running out of room.
And that's a number of times that the slide attack from Texas A&M has gone more cross court. So see if Ole Miss makes any adjustments to try to take some of that away.
First of all, serve tougher to try to get him out of the slide if you can. Good first contact by Voss. That's good transition volleyball. All keyed. Wasn't a tough chance, but Taylor Voss, a perfect first contact right to Camille Connor.
Yep, Morgan Davis, the middle for Texas A&M, transitions in, holds her blocker, and gives the one-on-one to Lauren Davis on the outside.
Lauren Davis now with 7 kills on 18 swings. A&M hitting 307 right now in the match. Bear once again. Going to see a lot of Anna Bear this year if she keeps this up.
Anna Bear just mixing up where she's hitting. She's not really being as predictable, and that's what's allowed her to be successful and score in this one.
Another set point now for A&M to take the 2-1 lead over Ole Miss. That ball might have been going out of bounds. Voss with a pretty good contact. Tough chance for Bear. Ball coming right over the top of her head. Davis for the set point. Off the block, off the defense of Ole Miss. And the second set taken by Texas A&M. The third set taken by Texas A&M. 25-20.
And Lauren Davis doing her part after a slow start to really get Texas A&M back on top in this one with 8 kills, hitting 300. That's more the number we thought we'd see from her.
Team that you worked at Mississippi State.
Yeah, I definitely, it's my alma mater too, so I pulled for Mississippi State. But, as far as professional football, so when I was in Houston, it was the Houston Oilers.
Yes.
Well, they're now the Tennessee Titans.
Right.
So always grew up Cowboys fans too, because my grandparents lived up there. So now
another Cowboy. Oh my.
Yeah, I guess we just.
Oh my God.
And Dak Prescott's a Mississippi State alum.
Okay.
So
How do you like your new football coach, Mike Leach?
He is my favorite post-game interview to ever listen to. He's so funny.
He's a pretty interesting guy. Pretty interesting guy. Got to know him when he was at Washington State and at Texas Tech before that. On the overpass. Just underway here in the fourth set. Ole Miss took the opening set 25-21 and then has lost the second, third 25-20 and 25-20 as well.
And again, the passing for Ole Miss. Avery Bugg has struggled a little bit. They've gone back to serving her.
Slide to Talbert, down the line and off of Bugg. It's going to take some time at Ole Miss. There's no question about that. Their program has been to the NCAA tournament 3 times, 2006, 2007, and the last time was in 2010. And it's going to take a while for Caleb Anworth to build the kind of competitive culture that's going to be necessary, but has some good players coming in. Very excited about her 2022 class. Thompson. Camille Connor has been very quiet so far on the night offensively, which is rare for her. Took 15 swings in 4 sets yesterday. That's a rip by Talbert.
And sitting at just 5 attempts still in this one, but when you've got all of your attackers scoring like she does, 11 kills for Mallory Talbert, 9 from Morgan Davis, the other middle, 9 from Treyana Rush, 8 from Lauren Davis, so really well-balanced offense.
Ball's dug too tight to the net. Off speed again, good read by Miller. That ball might have been out of bounds, but Innes has been doing a really good job at the defensive end. Timeout is called very early at the start of this 4th set.
Texas A&M coming out strong. Ole Miss saying we don't want to give up any more points. Things are not going.
Since then, look at the numbers that A&M is putting up.
I mean, just phenomenal numbers for Texas A&M, and a lot of credit to Camille Connor, the setter for Texas A&M, making good decisions. Her set location is consistent. The passing has gotten a lot better. The first contact for Texas A&M has definitely improved.
Mentioned the opening set, which they lost to Ole Miss, 25-21. A&M hit 188. Now as a team, they're hitting 327. So after a slow start, they have really turned on the gas offensively. Pass consistently, and Camille Connor, one of the better setters in the country.
And as we've mentioned a few times, she's been less offensive, and she still is, her team's able to score. I mean, she doesn't have to score like that, but she can.
That ball hit out of bounds, looking for a touch. Yep. Oh, ball was called in, excuse me. It looked like it was going to drift out of bounds. Lauren Davis was, as we say in volleyball terminology, begging her lungs out for a touch, but the ball was on the sideline.
And it did look like it trickled a little bit off of the net. So I'm with you. At first, I thought it was going out.
Allison Fields, defensive specialist, will come on now, replacing Talbert. Bear, dug by Ennis, her 15th, a new career high. Right back at you by Bugg, and a rare mistake by number 28, Anna Bear, who's been really good, has really lifted the level of Ole Miss.
Just trying to make something happen after getting dug on the last play. A great up by Avery Bugg, but just swinging too much across her body. She hit a little more of the middle of the court last time with a lot of pace, but got dug, so trying to go more down the line, but too far across her body.
Yeah, that ball was well wide. Bugg gets eaten up a little bit. Dug by Thompson. That'll get tracked down by Miller. Free ball. Where do you go? Do you go on the slide? No, inside a little bit and off the inside blocker's hand. Beautiful play by Lauren Davis, who registers another kill.
We haven't seen that much from Texas A&M. They have been spreading it more pin to pin. So on that free ball, bringing Lauren Davis in the court a little bit more so that she could get a different angle of look around the blockers.
Fields again. And net ball nicely done on the slide. Couple blockers there, but if you hit the ball high and hard and flat, things will go well for you. Saltemeyer going to the sideline.
And Saltemeyer leads all players with 13 kills, hitting .385.
That's a really good sign for Saltemeyer, but she's a middle attacker. In women's college volleyball, with all these long rallies, you got to have your outsides putting up the biggest numbers. Something that needs to be developed at Ole Miss, which will take time. That ball to the floor, and another kill by Lauren Davis, the sophomore out of Orlando, Florida. Texas A&M at 3-0 on the early season. Is it early? No, it's the middle season. It's the middle of the season. 8 matches total. Ole Miss played their first match. They had to wait longer than any SEC team. They lost last night to Texas A&M 3-1. A&M opened their competition against a very good team from LSU and won both. The second night was really a battle in 5 sets, and Bear comes right back.
You talked about swinging high at the edges of the block, and that's exactly what Anna Bear did. She had 2 blockers in front of her, but making sure she got it off of the outside of the hand of Treyana Rush.
There is Bars, who got the start tonight. Last night it was Gabby Easton, but Bars, who started every match last year, getting the look in match number 2 tonight for first-year head coach Caleb Anworth. Treyana Rush has had a really nice bounce-back performance. Really struggled last night. There she is, number 14 for A&M. Came out, tweaked her ankle, remember, in the second set. No ill effects. We'll get you her numbers in just a second. Bear again.
Anna Bear definitely trying to solidify her spot on the court. She right now is the go-to attacker when Saltemeyer is out. Anna Bear is who they're trying to find.
Bear is 6 for 11 with 1 error, hit .455. Wonderful numbers for an outside hitter. Out of system chance here. Rush, good coverage. Point-saving play by Carly Basham, the libero for A&M.
And attackers like Treyana Rush feel more comfortable to take a big rip in some risky situations when their teammates are getting in there, making those coverage plays and saving the point.
Really good coverage by Basham. Quality swing, Schnitta. The left-hander ripping that ball inside the block, number 5 in light blue.
Schnitta's had moments where she's been on fire, but then goes quiet for periods of time. And so, again, a true freshman. She's got to figure things out at this level.
That's a really good point. That ball drifts just out of bounds. Another service error for Ole Miss. That is the 14th service error against 7 aces. 7 aces is a big number, but 14 is also a really big number. That's a lot of free points to a quality opponent. Taylor Voss out of Corpus Christi, DS for A&M. That pass is good enough to run your offense, and Schnitta gets stuffed by Talbert.
Well, Lauren Bars was very predictable in her set decision on that one. Mallory Talbert was keyed in on making sure she got the double block on Schnitta.
Talbert averaging 1.6 blocks per set. That's a big number. She's having a really nice start to this 20. We always called it, college volleyball was always 1 year. It was the 2014, the 2019, the 20, but this is the 2021 season.
That's
because
right.
The spring season, when the Pac-12 and the Big Ten get going, along with some other conferences, and then the NCAA tournament again coming up in April. Here's Schnitta. And a service ace.
And that's one of those serves that we talked about where her location was prime. She didn't hit it right at a passer. It was sort of deep, but that spin dropped it in late.
Remember, it was her serving late in the 3rd set that at least gave Ole Miss an opportunity to get back in. Very nicely done once again by Cameron Ennis, the 6 foot junior transfer out of San Antonio, and mentioned that a couple of players, not only Innes, but Morgan Christian, who we saw at the beginning of this match, transferred from Kansas. And Bird Kuhn was a longtime assistant coach there, recruited these players, but they went into the portal, and she had some long conversations with her former mentor, Ray Bouchard, who's just a wonderful coach at Kansas. And it's always a touchy situation, but the players wanted to leave, and they had a relationship with Coach Kuhn, and here they are now playing for Texas A&M.
And you have to respect her handling that the way she did. She immediately called him and talked to him about the players, and, you know, just wanting to be up front. And you really admire and respect that. Yeah,
they have a very long and heartfelt relationship, and it showed there again. Really, really classy people. Nice play into the cross court once again. Saltemeyer with the kill. Ole Miss has some pieces.
Ole Miss goes through stretches where they look really good. They're doing really good things systematically, looking solid, but it's just playing consistent over time. They're just not there yet. Kayla Banworth will get them there.
Well, we were talking about it during one of the commercial breaks. They will learn as they're in more matches. They will just learn and need to figure out to be much more mentally tough and compete and really raise the level of their performance in the most important moments. There's Camille Connor. It does help to be a Luigi. That's a left-hander.
Yes, I was a setter, and I was always jealous of left-handed setters because I wanted to be able to do that, and I could not.
We've come to the media timeout at 15-8. Well, they should be. That should never happen. Kayla Banworth is beside herself. And speaking of Kayla Banworth, of course, she called a timeout quickly at 4-0. Jenny, you reminded me of that. So the media timeout is not necessary since one was called before 15.
And this is just a case of Aubrey Saltemeyer not paying attention to where the ball was even going. So she just got in another player's way.
So timeout is called. Texas A&M with a 2-1 lead and the advantage of 16-8 here in the fourth. Coming up next, SC Now team will have all the night scores and highlights, plus they'll have the latest football news around the conference and get you set for Saturday. That's tomorrow's games. No one covers the SEC like we do. You can also watch it streaming live on the ESPN app. Back with Jenny Hazelwood, former coach at Mississippi State. I'm Paul Sunderland. Thanks for joining us. College volleyball coming your way on ESPN, ESPNU, the SEC network, and of course right here on the ACC network, and of course right here on the SEC network.
It's been great to have college volleyball on television. Even the times we're on site here tonight, even the times we're calling matches from home, it's just awesome to be watching college volleyball, calling college volleyball.
Well, and a really wonderful job by all the schools that are competing, taking all the necessary precautions. And, you know, as you talk to the coaches around the league, and Mary Wise made a really interesting point about how grateful she is every day because the athletes have to be responsible above and beyond. They can't necessarily socialize with their friends. They have to be very, very careful about where they go outside of the team. And Coach Wise really emphasized that her group is doing a really good job, and all the other athletes have to be really responsible as well to make sure that they protect themselves and their teammates, and so they can continue playing.
And I've heard that from a lot of coaches that are playing this fall, that they've got their bubble, and their players are respecting the fact that they need to keep their bubble and their circle tight so that they can keep playing volleyball.
Bear again on the outside looking for high hands and missed that one out of bounds, and this one is getting out of reach for Ole Miss. Bear again looking for the sideline and finding it.
Well, Avery Bug with a really good pass. That ball was basically going to Anna Baer, and she transitioned out to hit, and Avery Bug got a really nice pass, and then the great tip shot by Baer.
Now serving, Maggie Miller.
Defensive specialist Maggie Miller back to serve. 17-9 is the advantage. Ole Miss running out of time. Easy serve, perfect pass. And on the slide, that ball right in the deep line corner, number 22, Morgan Davis with the kill. Texas A&M, after they put this up into the computer, hitting over 370 so far. I exaggerated. They're hitting 366.
Come on now, Paul.
On the match.
But it's 591 in this set.
Right, but remember, they started out opening set hitting under 200. So since then, they've probably hit just about 400 on the night. That ball served just out of bounds.
Well, you're better at the quick math than me because...
It was a guesstimate. It was completely a guess.
But this set, A&M has 13 kills, no errors.
Cameron Innes, the transfer from Kansas, has been outstanding in serve, receive, defense, and has taken a couple of nice swings. Nice dig once again into the cross court by Basham. And the ball to the floor. 19-10.
You mentioned Cameron Innes really stepping it up because Morgan Christian was the starting outside, front row outside to start this one. So Cameron Innes has stayed in and gotten the nice passes. It's a great off-speed shot by Lauren Davis down the line, but Cameron Innes it doesn't always show up in the stat sheets, the things that she is doing to make her team successful.
Really good block on the outside. Thank you very much. Right on cue by number 10. Cameron Innes to Texas A&M. That is just a really solid two-woman block with Morgan Davis there as well. And Schnitta able to come through with a kill on the outside. After this weekend, Ole Miss will be at Arkansas next. All of these matches are back-to-back. Then at LSU, that'll be difficult. And then at home against Missouri, we'll give you Texas A&M's upcoming schedule after this point. That serve is missed. That's something that's really going to have to be cleaned up. Again, Texas A&M started at LSU. They won 3-0, 3-2 here in Oxford this weekend, and then at home for Mississippi State, and then they finish out their 8-match fall schedule against Arkansas. 21-11. Schnitta. That ball, there's got to be somebody on that ball. That's a good high flat swing by Schnitta and nobody making a move to go cover.
And some of the players were actually calling it out, so not really aware of exactly where they were on the court. And that's why nobody was going for it.
Those things will come. Those things will come. Thompson. Quality swing. Thompson, Baer, the two middle blockers, Saltemeyer and Bergach, the freshman.
And Lauren Thompson putting some heat, but in the deep cross-court corner. So that makes it harder to defend. So really good job of not just trying to bounce it, but put it deep.
Thompson, 5 of 12, only one error, hit 333, pretty good numbers. That ball set too tight. Smart decision. Treyana Rush making something out of nothing.
Yeah, ball set tight, even maybe a little bit low, at least based on Treyana Rush's timing with her approach, and she just places it perfectly with that deep tip shot.
A&M a couple of points away from improving to 4-0. Thompson again. Pretty good transition set, but just missed out of bounds by Schnitta. It's a small thing, but Cameron Innes, very smart. Off-speed shot down the line to take the setter out of the play. Match points now for A&M. Innes for the win, off the block and out of bounds. A solid performance after what was clearly a slow start for Texas A&M as they win this one. 3-1.
Well, Texas A&M, after a slow start, was just on fire.